Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on Capnclydes MTG. Finally healing up, and Duskmourn Spoilers are in the house. Oh my lord, oh my lord. They got rooms for days, and the funkshway is on point. Let me tell you what. Before we get into these spoilers today, don't forget comment, like, subscribe. Also, live streaming is coming back this Sunday, and I got all my shit in order. So hang out there with me while we play some Magic, and it'll be Diablo here shortly in October when the new set comes out, when the new expansion comes out. I mean, I know nobody probably wants to watch that shit, but can't play Magic forever, guys. I mean, you gotta take a break every now and again. So don't forget, we got giveaways coming up for members. We got monthly giveaways starting in October for those who become members, and just free giveaways in general. So it's going to be fun for everybody involved. So stay tuned as we wrap up these spoilers. I believe the 13th is the last day of spoilers. We'll hit those up on the 14th in the morning, and then we'll start heading over and doing the commander cards. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we're going to start the day off with not a room. We have the Cracked Skull, black and 2 enchant creature. Whenever it enters, you look at a target player's hand, you may choose a non-land card from it. Player discards a card. When enchanted creature is dealt damage, destroy it. I mean, it's good for limited. And 3 mana, get a card out of your player's hand is also fine. It's sure as hell ain't no Thoughtseize, but it's also combined with removal. So even though it probably won't be good enough for normal, standard, or any other kind of play, this will, I think, be a powerful card in limited, so watch out. Next, we have Bedhead Beastie. I was going to say Bestie. Bedhead Bestie. Is Horn going through that? Anyway, we'll just move on from that. 2 red and 4 for this 5/6 with Menace. Mountain Cycling 2. Again, another great Living Death card. And in limited, I mean, who doesn't want to go fetch lands out of their deck? Because, well, let's be honest, for 5 mana, you can get this out of the graveyard, and that's pretty good, especially when it gives you a mountain to help you do it. Seems good, and I love the fact he's got, like, Christmas lights all over him. So, he's just cool. Next, we have Scorching Dragon Fire, red and 1 instant, deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If that creature or planeswalker would die this turn, exile it instead. Basic removal for limited. May see a little bit of play in standard because it is your basic 2 for 3 damage with a topper of exile on it. So being able to exile a card instead of putting it in somebody's graveyard may make a difference depending on how much graveyard shenanigans we got going on. So this is probably going to be a pretty good card. Next, we have ViolentUrge. I have that every morning when I wake up. Anyway, it is 1 red. Target creature gets +1/+0, gains first strike to the turn. If you have Delirium, which is 4 or more card types in your graveyard, it also gains double strike. So, this is cool. Obviously, this is normally what your basic combat trick for limited would be, which means it's fine. The ability for it to gain double strike as well really pushes us over the top for 1 red. And if you guys remember in Death Shadow, they used Teamer Battle Rage, which gave double strike based off of power 4 or greater, which was fine, but it was also 2 mana. This, for 1 red, may replace that card. Because not only can it give double strike, but it gives +1/+0, which is an extra 2 damage. And that may matter. And you may say, but Captain, they got to have Delirium. We're talking about modern. We're talking about putting fetch lands and one spell instance and 0 casting cost baubles in your graveyard. Trust me, you'll have Delirium by turn 2 at the latest. This is going to be great in Death Shadow. And if not, well, this guy and his perm's going to find somewhere else to go because he's definitely styling and profiling. Anyway, moving on. We have here, that's right, it's funkshway time. It is Moldering Gym or the Weight Room. That sounds like every place I've ever worked out. Anyway, So on the Moldering Gym side, it's a green and 2. When you unlock this door, search your library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield, tapped, then shuffle. Basic land fetch. We have the weight room, which is green and 5. When you unlock this door, manifest dread, then put 3+1/+1 counters on that creature. I love everything about this. I mean, not only is it amazing and limited because it helps you fix your mana, plus gives you a creature later that is a 5/5 for 6. That's 2 cards in 1. In limited, that's amazing. This may see standard play in some ramp decks. I'm just putting it out there. I would definitely play this in Commander because nothing's worse than playing Commander and drawing all your land get spells in your ramp deck and nothing else. I mean, at least if you draw this as a land get spell, you're going to cast the other side and make Big Nasty to at least block or let him kill it. I don't know. This is the best of both worlds in a ramp deck. So I like this card. It's only a common. Holy cow. Next, we have the Defiled Crip and Kadaver Lab. Dun, dun, dun. I love how these names go together. So for the Defiled Crip, we got a black and 3. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, create a 2/2 black horror enchantment creature token. This ability triggers only once each turn. I mean, seems fine. Kadaver Lab, though, for 1 black, may be the one you cast first, which is you may unlock this door. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Good reason to lay the Defiled Crypt first and then unlock the other one for 1 black, because then you get the creature in your hand and a 2/2. But let's be fair. If you're running 4 of these, it's just going to be game on. This seems like a card that could be good in Standard along with Limited. And I think there's some Commander value here as well. I know I say that a lot about some of these cards, but I mean, some of them are just really cool, and this looks like to be the one. Just the cards with extra abilities and giving you all these options are just easier to play because who wants to play a card that does one thing when you can play a card that does 2? All right, the next room we have here is the Roaring Furnace or the Steaming Sauna. Almost kind of looks like steam vents, don't it? Anyway, so the Roaring Furnace is a red and 1. When you unlock this door, the room deals damage equal to the number of cards in your hand to target creature and opponent controls. Good removal. On turn 2, this does 6 damage. That is big. So big. The other side, which is the Steaming Sauna for 2 blue and 3, you have no maxed hand size, and at the beginning of your in-step, raw card. I like it because it's a one-sided Howling Mine. However, it's 5 mana. But again, we go back to on turn 2, I'm just going to blow whatever it is you put on the table off the table. And later, when I've drawn all my lands and I've got nothing left to do, I'm just going to unlock the other side and start drawing more cards to blow you off the table. So I think this is going to be a great card. It's going to be good and limited. It's probably going to see some standard play. I mean, if nothing else, just for the front half of Roaring Furnace. I mean, and in Commander, this is just going to be huge. Just huge. And moving on, we're going to wrap it up with a mythic funkshway in the house room. We have the Walkin Closet and the Forgotten Cellar, which is not remotely the same, but whatever. But check these guys out. Walkin Closet for a green and 2. You may play lands from your graveyard. This is a green and 2 Crucible of Worlds that also comes with the Forgotten Cellar side, which let's see what it does, which I honestly don't care. But it does 2 green and 3. When you unlock this door, you may cast spells from your graveyard this turn, and if a card would be put in your graveyard from anywhere this turn, exile it instead. So, if you're playing a deck that likes to play Crucible of Worlds, this gives you an extra Crucible of Worlds if you have green in it. And if you have some kind of weird mana ramp thing going on and you hit the unlock and you unlock the Forgotten Cellar, you can now cast every card in your graveyard again. And in Commander, that's going to be huge. Probably not. Honestly, this is going to be one card in Limited that's going to suck ass. Like, you don't want to get this as a mythic and limited if you plan on winning. Because it just doesn't do enough. I mean, there's not a lot of lands that go to your graveyard in this set. I mean, okay, so if you're playing a mill deck, I mean, maybe it will work for you. But honestly, I don't think it's something you want in limited. I'm not even sure it's going to be that great in standard, because the standard only has a couple lands that go to the graveyard when you use them. And the whole 5 mana to play cards from your graveyard would be great, but this is green, and this would be more of a card for a white-blue combination, in my opinion, if that's the way you wanted to go. But what do I know? Somebody might be able to break this thing. But I think this is definitely the Commander All-Star we've been waiting for. Unfortunately, it is green. You know, unlike Crucible of Worlds, which goes in any deck, which maybe the only thing that holds this back is the fact that you had to play green. But hey, you're playing green and you're playing mana ramp and all that other silly nonsense. It's going to be a good time for you, mainly just you. Nobody else involved is going to like this. Just saying. So, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. Until next time, be kind. And as always, I hope to see you across from the game table. Funkshway.